Airground Radio.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.
New voices amplified.
Ground is the place. My name is Plot Morgan. Welcome to the platform that brings you some of the amazing voices from Zimbabwe. And today we happen to have the iconic Gemma Griffiths. Welcome to Airground.
Hey, Plat, how's it going?
I'm good. It's such an honor to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Great. You've been traveling quite a lot, and today you dropped something new. This is the reason. But we're going to talk a bit about your music. We're going to be talking about the EP, the album that you dropped last year, PAMWE, and the journey that you've been traveling musically, and also literally with the Mbira project. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And you also made headlines this week. You dropped a picture and you gave us a snippet of some cool stuff to expect, but we're going to dig more into that. Before we do that, I'm going to play a snippet from a project that Gemma just commissioned, and this is quite an interesting project. Stay tuned. Eagle New Voices Amplified. And
So what should we are climbing to the top of Pesa.
Yeah, tomorrow we are going for Pesa. Yo, it has been crazy, hectic, very straining. It was straining, yeah?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, that's it. To watch more, you have to go on your YouTube channel and you can actually watch more. But I'll play you a couple of snippets as we go with the program. Gemma,
Awesome.
We've been traveling around quite a lot. Where are you currently?
Yes, I am currently back home in Zim, which has been so lovely. I'm so happy to be home. And that is, that's part of this whole travel series, that little snippet you just showed.
Wow, great. So let's talk a bit about your music and then we'll get back into the travel series a bit. Last year you dropped the PAMWE, but apart from that, you did a lot of collaborations. I think you and Nati are possibly two artists that I saw collaborating with so many artists last year.
Yeah.
What was the thought behind the collaborations that you did? You collaborated with Freeman, with Nati O and SF, and a few more other artists that you did some works with.
Yeah, so I think one big thing with music is, you end up connecting so much with the people that you're meeting and the people you're playing music with. And I'm a big believer in music from the heart and making music with friends, and Nutty and Asaf, Freeman, Hilsey, they're all really lovely friends. Aishan, they're all, we're all very close. And so I was just very lucky last year to be able to make music with a whole pile of people that I really, really love, not only as people, but as musicians. But the Nutty O and Asaf collaboration was something that I really drove because I wanted to make something that, was made Zimbabweans proud about being Zimbo, and also was super inclusive as much as, there are often not a lot of artists who from Bulawayo collaborate with Harare, and, I really want to start pushing that boundary more and more. Because music is so good at bringing people together. And so that was the idea behind 263, having Ndebele, having Shona, having English, and just celebrating what it is to be a Zimbabwean. But yeah, 2020 brought a whole bunch of amazing collaborations. And I'm so grateful to have released some myself and then to have been a part of other people's projects.
Wow, that is great. And the creative process, I look at your visuals, I look at even the music that you're making. There seems to be so much effort and detail in almost everything that you're doing. Titunga Mirre, the remix that you did for another song, and there's what goes into the creative process when you're making your music and your videos?
I think I'm very I would consider myself quite an all-round creative in the way that I tackle things. I'm very involved in the visual side of things as well. It's incredibly important to me because I think it's an amazing way to communicate, and I think for me, I often view music and the visuals as like an extra package and an extra way to communicate a feeling. And so musically, obviously, my process differs very much from the visuals, but I tend to really find myself sitting and writing, and then you sort of get the feeling, and you know when something's going to excite you and it's going to become a bit of a hit, or at least you hope so. But then it's such a fun process to take it from the writing, from the creative, into the studio, from the studio into the drawing board for the visuals. And it's something I've always pushed for, is to make sure that I'm heavily involved. I produce all the videos. I'm very much like on set with a clipboard and getting my makeup done at the same time. It's hilarious. But I really, really love it. And so I think that's also poured into the thing I'm doing now, the video you just showed, to be able to communicate through visuals, things that I'm passionate about, things that we are passionate about, and things that we need to talk about.
And what drives you? Because I see you making music with not only artists from one specific genre. You've done collaborations with Zim dancehall artists, with soul artists, R&B, hip hop artists, and now I see you are playing around within the East African part of the world. What's driving you? What's the goal? Where are you headed?
Yeah, I think music is what drives me. I think, we always put ourselves in boxes of, like I do some dancehall or I do R&B, but I think music as a whole is something so much more fluid. It's not a genre-specific thing all the time, and the same with that. It's not always location-specific. Some of the top songs that we'll listen to might be from the other side of the continent or the other side of the world, and so I always try and look at music as a whole. And I think that definitely affects the way I make it, because I try to let it choose me, as opposed to choosing, I'm going to do something in this genre or I'm going to do something here. I think in terms of working with artists, in East Africa and across the continent, that sort of has just come naturally from traveling and meeting people. 2018, I started driving through Africa. Yeah. I put my studio in the back of a Land Rover, and I just drove and drove and drove for 2 years. And the whole goal was to be inspired and to make music and to meet artists and to write. And so along that journey, you meet people, you connect with them. And so now I've been sort of going back to a whole bunch of people I've met, meeting new people, sitting in the room and just seeing what we can make. And I think music's amazing like that, because you might not know someone at all, and then you sit in a room and you share something as intimate as playing together, and the rest is history. You bond so quickly over that.
Wow, great. Before I cross over to the travel, the project PAMWE.
Yes.
How was the response? How has been the response so far? How are people finding it? I love it. I think it's one of the amazing projects that we've had from last year. But you as an artist, the response that you're getting, is it what you expected, or you expected more or less?
I think people have been super positive, super loving about it. I've gotten some incredible messages. And I think that was the goal with PAMWE, was to just make something that you could hear a little bit of home, some Sangura guitar, you could hear a little bit about the travels. And I think the goal with PAMWE was to be able to put it on start to finish in a car and road trip to it, because that's how I wrote it. And I have had, I've had some amazing responses, and I'm continuing to grow and push this project. It's far from over, and hopefully bringing some visuals soon as well.
Awesome, great. And talking about visuals, now we've got this project which is available on YouTube. We just dropped the first episode, the Mbira Trail. Can you tell us a bit about that? Like, what's the behind? What are you trying to sort of project? I saw you did it with Natty O last year, and people first were like, "Oh, Natty O and Gemma are dating." That was the first reaction.
That's always the reaction, isn't it? It's hilarious. So I just launched today, about half an hour ago, a travel series that I'm going to be putting out on my YouTube channel, basically highlighting and showing incredible places around our country, and hopefully taking some awesome celebs on the journey with me. I really believe that through showing these places and celebrating what we have at home, we might be able to not only boost our tourism and, change where we might travel next, but I think a lot of people also aren't aware of how many incredible things we can do within our borders, because Zimbabwe is absolutely brimming with amazing spaces and amazing, destinations that we don't tend to visit. And so today I launched the first one, which is myself and Nati O and my darling friend Chiedza. We went and climbed the Mbira Trail, which is a 5-day trail through Chimanimani. It is not easy.
How was the experience?
It was incredible. It was incredible. We slept under the stars. We slept in caves. We got rained on. We climbed some terrifying, terrifying peaks. But the Chimanimani mountains are absolutely exquisite. They are breathtaking. And we filmed the entire thing. So we had an amazing director who heads up Zetu Live, and an amazing photographer called Zash, and another photographer called Taf. And we all went as a crew and climbed and filmed this incredible trek. So it's now live on my YouTube, and you can watch me and Nati try and climb to the top of Peza Mountain. It's definitely worth a watch. It's such an incredible video. I feel blessed to be able to share that and hopefully encourage some people to go check out Chimanimani next time.
Oh, great. I'm going to give people a snippet of that. So stay tuned as we see just some snippets.
I thought I was going to die. I thought I wasn't going to make it back.
But we made it.
Check. Say it's the easiest way going down. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to play another one so that you get a very interesting perspective of what these guys are trying to do. Quite an ambitious and very interesting project.
Taking time away from, all of that busy schedule and all of that work. Appreciate being here in the mountains. Misty mountains. A lot of great scenery.
Yeah, but before you went on this travel, what sort of stories were you hearing about Chimanimani? Because there are a lot of myths and mysteries that we hear. I've never been to that place. Did you hear any of these before?
Of course, yes, of course. I think we all grew up sort of, knowing that, the mountains are sacred and they're very spiritual places. And we'd heard a lot about mermaids, and the holy water and things like that. And so to then get to the pools and to watch, the bubbling streams and things like that was really surreal. And it's such an incredibly spiritual place. Chimanimani is something else. You just have to go and you can feel it. It is sacred. Those mountains are sacred.
Oh, great. The story about Zimbabwe is normally negative. It's normally clouded with a lot of politics and a lot of, the other side. But we don't hear much of the positive side, especially with regard to the beautiful places and the beautiful people of Zimbabwe. As you go around the world, you meet so many people and you're telling the story, but you're also exploring. What story are you telling the world about the country?
I think very much like what I hope is evident that I dream of doing is to do exactly that, to make sure that the narrative that is coming out of Zimbabwe is positive, because there are so many incredible, incredible things happening. The people, the music, the food, the travel, we have so much to be proud of. And I am so incredibly proud to be Zimbabwean, and I really, 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 really take that with me. I always invite people to come and visit. It's like my thing. I'm like, come stay, even if I'm not there, come to Zimbabwe. And I think that's the goal with this travel series that I've started, is really to make sure that what I'm putting out there constantly, because I do it with my music, you know, Garapano, we were having fuel cues, and I was like, let's turn that into something positive. So the video was a whole dance scene in a fuel queue. You know, that's always been the dream. And so this travel series, these videos that I'm going to be putting out on YouTube of incredible Zimbabwean destinations, this is another step of what I hope will be in the right direction, to not only show people abroad how incredible Zim is, but to also remind Zimbabweans how lucky we are to have this country, to remind the diasporans, you know, when you come home, why don't you go here for a holiday, you know, to remind Zimbabweans, instead of like, you know, going across the borders to have a holiday, you can go to Chimanimani, you know. And so I'm going to continually share positive stories, and try and shed some extra patriotism and pride amongst our Zimbos.
Great. And where are you headed to next after this? The one that we just
Good question. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I've got some good things in mind.
Okay. With a new set of artists, or you still going to have the same people around?
I think I want to challenge some artists. I want to see if I can get some people who maybe wouldn't normally visit certain places. We'll see. I've got to get their yeses first, but that's my challenge.
Great. And you know, I keep getting this question is coming through also in my DM. People are asking about the collaboration that we've done. They still want to hear one specific collaboration, how the experience was working with the big man, Winky D.
Yes. Oh, it was absolutely incredible. I actually saw him yesterday. Winky D is an amazing artist and an amazing person. He's very focused, and he knows what he's, you know, wanting to achieve in a song. And so when we went in to write Magadan and to record it, it really was it was like done with so much patience and love, and really, really trying to perfect that song. And so I'm always so grateful when people love Magadan, because it really was like his whole heart poured into that, my whole heart poured into that, Ozkid's heart poured into that song. It definitely wasn't done in a rush. And working with him on set was also amazing. Me running around with a snake, and
were you not scared?
I was scared at first, but I sort of calmed down. I knew I had to do it. It was the story of Adam and Eve, so you know, there's got to be a snake, and I'm Eve, so that makes sense. But it took me a little while to actually put the snake on me, and I had like, but I was okay in the end. I got used to it because I was wearing that snake for like 2 days.
Oh, wow.
I wore that, and she was busy. But it was amazing. Yeah, Winky, I have nothing but absolute awe and praise for that artist. He's incredible.
Wow, great. And you just did another collaboration. Someone saying it's an advert. Someone is saying it's actually a song. The one that he dropped, I think, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so that's so much fun. So that was an anthem for OK Grand Challenge, you know, which is where we performed Magadan the last time. And so we did a big anthem for OK Grand Challenge. So it kind of is like, it's like an advert, but it's a song, you know. But everyone's been so positive, and everyone's loved the track. So I'm so grateful.
Great. Thanks a lot. And on your playlist, I know you listen to your own music possibly, but who else are you listening to from, especially the current crop of artists from Zimbabwe?
You know, I've been really diving into music at the moment, especially young artists in Zim. You know, I think there's something so cool happening where the sort of platform of young artists, the group of young artists is growing and growing and growing. So
Yes.
there's a guy called K Chaps, and I've been listening to
Chaps.
him a lot. Yeah, I absolutely love his voice. Kyla Black, she is from Bulawayo, and also got the most incredible voice and sort of style of singing.
She's
So I'm really
amazing.
enjoying her. Hilsey as well. I've been listening to his Chiskana EP quite a lot. Obviously Freeman, I'm a massive fan. Nutty, of course, you know, I back that boy. But yeah, I'm really excited about the young artists. Also, Anita Jackson, I think, is bringing something really fresh.
Sure.
But it's hard to choose, you know, because you always sort of connect with so much music. So my list is kind of endless, especially with Zim. But yeah, I'd do a big shout out to Kyla Black and K Chaps because they're doing amazing stuff.
Oh, great. And when you're not doing music, when you're not traveling, what do you do in your spare time? Do you read any books? And if so, which books are you reading?
Yeah, I read a lot whenever I have time. Basically, my life is travel and music, but I'm currently reading Captain Corelli's Mandolin. It's I've just started diving into it, but I tend to read novels if I read because I think my brain kind of needs to switch off a little bit. But yeah, I exercise. I like exercising, you know, running and stuff like that in my spare time. And I hang out with my dogs. I have some very big dogs. So
Nice one, nice one. Someone is sending greetings there. Tendai Kudakwashe Maziofa. He says, I'm watching from Port Elizabeth. Hello, Gemma. Michael Chimon, an artist, is also sending greetings. Jim Makurumbandi is also sending his greetings. So many people showing love. Donald Papalodza is also, you know, appreciating, and he says he's excited to hear that you're also vibing to catch-ups. And
yay!
Great. So what are we expecting next musically? What are you working on? Apart from what is already dropped.
So much stuff. I've been working so hard. I hope you can see it. But there's a surprise coming not too far away, which I'm very excited about. There's a whole bunch of new music coming as well at some point. I can't let you know anything just yet, but it's coming. As well as some cool collabs. And yeah, and I just spent a month in Kenya basically making music and writing and just being in a musical vibe with the Sauti Soul Boys and with Jules. So yeah, I've been working hard.
Great. You mentioned Sauti Soul there. And we saw the picture. What are we expecting? And do you have an idea when it's possibly dropping?
This is the problem. When you make a lot of music, you have to like kind of figure out where everything's gonna fit. But let's just say something's coming. But that experience was amazing. The Sauti Soul Boys are the most genuine, incredibly talented musicians, but really down to earth and really warm and welcoming. Jules as well, hilarious, such a cool guy, and so talented. And yeah, I feel blessed that I had that amount of time to really, really bond and get to know them and to make that music with them. So stuff is coming.
Wow, stuff is coming, and definitely we know that whatever Gemma turns into gold. When you make music, do you already know that this is going to be a hit? Or at what level do you see a hit in a song?
I think, you know what? I think you never really know where a song is going to go. You never really know how everyone's going to react, but you obviously get a feeling of like something that really excites you. And for me, that tends to happen in the studio. So, you know, I'll write the song often and be like, man, this is cool. And then we'll take it to studio and really start to put it together. And then everyone's just like, ah, that's sort of, I think, where it tends to happen. But, you know, sometimes it'll be as simple as just having my keys and being like, this is it. Like, I can hear this will be cool. And sometimes it's actually adding that beat in the studio. But yeah, before the song's done, I think you sort of know at least where your head is at or where your favorites are, you know?
Wow, great. Wow, it's been awesome. It's been great speaking to you, Gemma. And congratulations for the great work that you're doing, and to you and your team. It's really amazing, the body of work that you've put out in a space of a year. Just last year alone, I look at the catalog, it's quite impressive, and every piece of it is really like high-end work. Zimbabwean music internationally, this has been a conversation. People still talk about it, saying, what exactly is it going to take for us to make such a sort of a footprint on the international stage? Do you think we are there? Do you think we're going there? How far do you think we are?
I think music-wise, we have some of the most talented and ready artists. There's no doubt in my mind that there is a huge handful of artists who really could take on the international scene now. I think our challenge as artists always, and this is for all of us, and for upcoming artists as well, is to remember that, when you are putting something out, it has the chance to be international. And so, I always challenge myself to make sure that everything I put out is good enough that it could compete on an international scale. We've got to make sure that we're constantly raising the bar for ourselves. And so that the music sounds completely as good as you could get it, as world-class as you can get it. And the same with the visuals, the same with your rollout plan, everything, just constantly aiming for the international to say, hey, let's take Zim there. Zim can compete. And I think, as we continue to do that, we're seeing it spark more and more and more and more every year.
Yeah, we keep seeing more and more sparks coming every year, and you guys are on the front line. You're making and changing that narrative. Thank you so much. It's been great speaking to you. To everybody who's been watching, it's been awesome. I've managed to pick out a few that have sent in comments, but I see the comments coming through and all the love on YouTube and on Facebook and Earground. It's been great to have you guys watching and hearing the story from Gemma. Remember to go on a YouTube channel. She just dropped something interesting with Nati, or they're climbing the Mbira Trail, and this is a very interesting series. When are we seeing the next part of this?
I'll also have to let you know that. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you, but it's not far off. It's not far off. I want to let this one breathe a little bit. I really want everyone to see this. Great.
Check it out on her YouTube channel, Gemma Griffiths. That's the name of the YouTube channel, and you're gonna love it. It's quite fun and breathtaking, seeing how beautiful Zimbabwe is. So until next time, Gemma, thank you so much. What's your word to your fans, people that love your music, that follow you?
Thank you. I guess all we can say is thank you, because I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be able to keep making stuff if people weren't being so beautiful and supportive. So thank you. Keep sending in messages. Keep watching. I promise to keep rolling out as much beautiful, proud Zimbabwean love and music as I possibly can.
Wow. Thank you so much. She's going to keep making beautiful music. And until next time, stay tuned to Earground. Your voice is amplified. My name is Plot Marco, and I'm out.
Earground Radio. New voices amplified.